A cuneiform fragment sits in Philadelphia. A joining piece lies in Istanbul. Another fragment rests in Baghdad. For decades, scholars read them as disconnected Sumerian myth, until Samuel Noah Kramer assembles them into a single continuous text. What the complete tablet describes is a rule, precise and clinical, for who is taken first when they come back. Not the guilty, not the powerful, and the scribe who recorded it never once explained why. Between 1888 and 1901, the Babylonian expedition to Nippur uncovered tens of thousands of clay tablets from the ruins of a Sumerian temple complex. Each find was logged in field notebooks, wrapped in oilcloth, and shipped out under Ottoman license, first to Basra, then to Smyrna, and finally divided between three institutions: the University Museum in Philadelphia, the Imperial Museum in Istanbul, and later the new Iraq Museum in Baghdad. The tablets that would one day form the text of Inanna's descent arrived in these collections as scattered, unremarkable fragments, each assigned an accession number and a brief catalog entry. Some preserved only a handful of lines. Others bore no obvious connection to any larger narrative. For decades, museum ledgers and object numbers stood as the only thread linking these pieces. Evidence of a story still in pieces, not decoration for display. It was only in the mid-20th century that Samuel Noah Kramer, examining the records and the tablets themselves, recognized joins that crossed not just physical gaps, but continents. The edge of a fragment in Philadelphia fit the break of a piece in Istanbul. A passage in Baghdad completed a sequence begun in Pennsylvania. Through composite cataloging and cross-institutional study, Kramer assembled a continuous reading where none had existed. The meaning was not hidden in the clay, it was hidden in the separation. Only when the fragments were joined did the logic of the text become visible, precise, unyielding, and recorded without comment. Inanna descends, passing through the 7 gates of the underworld. At each threshold, she surrenders a symbol of her rank: crown, necklace, breastplate, rings, measuring rod, and robe. The text details this sequence with a methodical precision, stripping away not only her authority but every sign of her identity as she approaches the final chamber. The journey is not framed as punishment or redemption. It is a process. At the end, she stands before Ereshkigal, naked and powerless. Only then does the governing law become explicit. The underworld does not grant release without a replacement, no exception, no appeal. The Sumerian scribe records the rule as a simple exchange. Nothing leaves unless something is given in its place. The tablets do not offer comfort or rationale, only the record of a transaction that is absolute. This is the price of return. The assembled text defines the Gala, not by what they do, but by what they lack. They know no food. They know no drink. They eat no flower offering, drink no libation, accept no gift, hear no music. The repetition is deliberate, each denial stripping away another layer of human association. There is no appetite, no comfort, no gratitude, no pleasure. The language reads less like myth and more like a checklist, a record of exclusions, not a portrait of character. The Gala are not described as vengeful or cruel. They function as operators of a system, immune to persuasion, untouched by ritual or song. The Sumerian scribe gives no story, only a negative inventory. It is clinical. It is exact. The unsettling effect comes not from what is said, but from the precision with which the text refuses to say more. The return from the underworld does not begin with a single decisive act. It unfolds as a series of encounters, each one recorded with a clarity that leaves little room for interpretation. The Gala demons, charged with securing a substitute for Inanna, arrive first at Ninshubur. She is found seated in the dust, clothed in mourning, her face streaked with tears. The text notes her condition, then passes on. The Gala do not take her. They continue to Shara. Again, the scene is described without embellishment. Shara is dressed in mourning garments, the posture unmistakable. Grief is visible, unhidden. The Gala do not take him. Next is Lulel. He is weeping at the threshold, his sorrow not concealed. The tablet repeats the same phrase. The Gala do not take him. 3 times, the same outcome. 3 figures, each found in mourning, each passed over. No explanation is offered. No motive is given. The repetition is exact. The record accumulates, one spared encounter after another. The pattern is not named. It is made visible only in the sequence. The text proceeds. The rule is not yet spoken, but it is already present. Dumuzi sits on his throne, draped in fine garments, the emblems of his office undisturbed. His posture is composed, his face unmarked by grief, his clothing untouched by ashes or dust. The assembled text lingers on these details, not as ornament, but as inventory. Each line a check against the pattern already established. No tears, no sign of mourning, no evidence of loss. Dumuzi is not singled out for any past offense, nor for the privilege of his rank. He is not accused. He is not judged. He is simply present, unaltered, while the world around him has been marked by sorrow. The Gala enter. The passage is brief. They see Dumuzi. The command is given. Take him. There is no pause, no deliberation, no weighing of character or merit. The text does not record a reason. It does not offer a rationale. It does not ask if Dumuzi deserves his fate. It records only the sequence. The mourners are spared. The first who is not mourning is taken. Dumuzi is seized. This is not a legend embroidered for effect. It is a record of a rule executed with the same precision as a ledger or a legal decree. The criterion is present moment behavior, not status, not guilt. The scribe does not explain. The scribe does not comfort. The scribe records. That is all. Dumuzi's capture is not a symbolic gesture. The text follows him as he flees, first to the steppe, then to the sheepfold, then to the house of his sister, Inanna. Each stop is recorded with the same deliberate clarity as the earlier selection. There is no rescue. The Gala pursue him across boundaries, through fields and villages, until there is nowhere left to run. The myth does not describe a struggle or a plea for mercy. It records movement, pursuit, and the inescapable reach of the rule already set in motion. Inanna's role enters here, not as a reversal, but as a negotiation. She refuses to betray Dumuzi's location, even under threat. The text quotes her offer without embellishment. She will share his fate. For half the year, she will go in his place. The Gala accept. There is no sense of triumph, only the notation of an exchange. Dumuzi's loss is not undone. It is managed. The outcome is a cycle. For part of each year, Dumuzi remains below. For the other part, Inanna descends. The myth settles into the rhythm of the land, death and return, dry season and growth. The rule persists, embedded in the pattern of the world itself. The assembled tablets do not merely narrate a sequence of mythic events. They preserve, line by line, a rule that only becomes visible when the fragments are joined into a continuous document. The scribe's hand moves with the discipline of a record keeper, not a storyteller. Each spared mourner is noted with the same formula. Each encounter is logged with the same detachment. The passage where the Gala demons make their selection reads less like a parable and more like an entry in a ledger. Present moment behavior, not identity, not past action, not social rank. The spared are those found in mourning. The one taken is the first not grieving. The text offers no rationale for this distinction, no commentary, no justification. The criterion stands isolated, a fact, not an explanation. Kramer's reconstruction did not invent this logic. It revealed it, made it legible by restoring the sequence, yet the meaning is left untouched. The scribe documents the rule with administrative precision and then moves on. The tablets do not say why, they only say what happens. The result is a record that is exact, unyielding and silent about its purpose. The tablets stand, unblinking in glass cases, bearing a rule as objective as any trade ledger. Today the logic persists. Indifference marks the chosen. The scribe offered no comfort, only record. Not who deserves to be taken, only who is not mourning. That line remains, it still divides.